Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Georgia Law Firm Stadium for the 2019 Hempfield homecoming game between the Black Knights and the Wilson Bulldogs. Hempfield comes into this game off their second win of the season, trying to turn their season around, while Wilson comes off their first loss of the season to Manheim Township. Wilson's state power ranking stands at number 9 in the state, making Hempfield the heavy underdogs in this game. But for Hempfield to keep their playoff hopes alive, they must get a win tonight, which may just be the motivation they need to pull it off. You're watching HSD TV7 coverage on high school football. I'm Colson Hunt, alongside Zach Roda, and our producer tonight is Riley Klepper. Our audio specialist is Jace Gibbons. I'll bring Zach in now to give us some keys for both teams. So, Wilson is obviously a PIAA powerhouse. What do they have to do to secure a win tonight?
Well, honestly, Colson, they just got to shut down the running game. Running game has gotten Hempfield to this point and even got them their first win in quite a few weeks last week, and let's see if the momentum can carry over.
Absolutely. And now, what about Hempfield? What do they have to do to pull off what many believe is impossible, a win against the Bulldogs?
It all comes down to controlling time of possession. Honestly, the better they have the run game going, the less time Wilson will have on the field and less points scored.
And Wilson lets that ball roll through the back of the end zone for the touchback. They will start on their own 20.
Finally reaching football weather, Colson.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It feels like a fall day here. 54 degrees here in Landisville. A slight breeze coming across. But a good night for football.
No better night than Hempfield's homecoming night.
Absolutely right. All right.
3. No.
Here's Wilson's first play.
Outside.
It's a handoff to the outside. And that gets about 7 there.
Handoff goes number 3, Matt Fry.
Looks like he's just short the first down.
Gain is 6 on the play, 2nd and 4.
Hempfield really has to contain the outside this game. Past few weeks, they've kind of struggled in that.
Caleb Brown in at quarterback right now for Wilson. He has been on fire this season. 64% completion percentage, 8.61 yards per completion, with 11 touchdowns and only 1 interception. He's looking to have another good game here at the Law Firm Stadium. He's in the gun here, flanked by a running back. He gives it to the running back up the middle. Good tackle there. Looks like no gain, and that'll bring up 4th down here.
Great stop. Great way to light up the backfield.
Monte Lockhart on the carry again. Wrapped up by number 52, Jack Burkhart.
This is Jack's first game back after missing last week.
Yeah, good tackle there by Jack Burkhart. Hempfield has several returning players to the roster here. Ben Marinas is back in after a concussion. Jack Burkhart, like we mentioned, is back in after an arm infection. Joey Iandolo is back in after having mono. And Nashawn Good is in after a concussion. There's the punt. It's a low punt. Looks like a shank, and it's going to roll out of bounds at the Wilson 43-yard line. That sets Hempfield up with some great field position to start their offensive drive.
Hempfield really has to take advantage of this field position.
Absolutely. They're trying to get points on the board and as fast as they can, too.
It's not easy to be on Wilson's side of the field, and if it's given to you like that, you really just have to take advantage. Let's see how they come out here.
How about this? Starting at quarterback is Cameron Harbaugh, the sophomore. Hasn't gotten much playing time, but they give it to Hess, who tries to turn the outside and picks up maybe a couple. Hess has been the starter for the last couple weeks, but Harbaugh has been put into this game in order to free him up in other positions. Interesting switch by the offense. What do you think about it, Zach?
Honestly, it seems like they're just trying to utilize Tanner's pure athleticism. He's just a well-rounded athlete, and, I mean, it all comes down to the best combination of players you have out there.
He is one of the fastest and strongest players on this team, Hess is. Oh, but we have a penalty against Hempfield. It's going to back them up back into their own half, and they'll have it on the 49-yard line.
That is not at all what they needed, especially with that field position given to them.
It's going to be 2nd and 20 here after a block in the back. Harbaugh in the gun, gets the ball. Quick slant to Jimenez, who tries to turn the corner, can't get much, maybe one. Hempfield's going to look to Jimenez a lot in this game, especially on those quick screen passes because he is so fast and he keeps his feet running, but not enough there to get the extra yardage. Same formation, 2 receivers to the left. Low snap, handoff in the middle. Nowhere to go. Actually, a loss of 1 or 2 there. And that's that strong Wilson defensive line that's been able to stop the run game so well this year.
Going back to number 11, Jimenez, great to see them getting the junior involved early. He's been a really special player for Hempfield so far this season. Considering it's his first real varsity action this year, he's putting on a show. Harbaugh
looks to him. No space for Jimenez there, and it looks like the throw was a little off too. Harbaugh may have to settle in here. He's playing, and this is his first ever start for high school, and it's on his homecoming night. You have to think he's dealing with a little bit of pressure here, don't you, Zach?
I'm expecting a few throws to be off in the first half. Honestly, just think about the nerves. They're probably all over the place right now. But I do expect them to settle in eventually.
Ethan Saunders now back to punt. Nice snap. And he gets it away. It's a nice spiral punt. That's going to take a Hempfield bounce and go out of bounds at the 10. Great punt there by Ethan Saunders, who's been fairly consistent all year. His average yards per punt is 24.5 yards, which isn't spectacular, but that's pretty good as far as high school goes.
He's been doing a pretty solid job. Great way to pin them back here. Let's see how Wilson responds.
What's the punter's number for Hempfield?
All right, Caleb Brown to get the snap here in the gun. Hands it off, looking down the middle.
Got a hole.
And that is number 12, Mason Lenart on the carry. Gets about 7.
Some solid run blocking by the Wilson O-line there.
Absolutely. They freed up that hole down the middle. And Lenart's got an edge. It's a foot race. 40, 30. Trips him up. He's still got it. 10. 5, touchdown. He's in.
And just like that, like I mentioned earlier, Hempfield really just has to focus on shutting down the outside. You can't give up those plays, especially with Wilson. You got to play a mistake-free game almost if you want to beat them.
That's absolutely right. He got the edge set for him on the outside there by that strong line of the Bulldogs. And at that point, man, he is fast. He just took it up the sideline.
No one could beat him.
No chance.
Great job by Wilson to come in here and go up early. Quiet down the crowd, maybe.
Jack Wagner here to attempt the extra point. And it is good. Wilson takes the first lead of the game here, 7-0, with 7:52 left in the first quarter. So Wilson just has that big explosive play to put them on the board. What does Hempfield have to do here, Zach, to respond?
Well, they just can't panic. They just got to stick to the run game. That's what's gotten them to this point. And, I mean, let's see if Cam still has a little bit of jitters in him. I think, honestly, they just got to get a few easy completions, maybe a few screen passes, just so he can get some rhythm going and then take it from there.
Do you try to get Hess involved?
Yes, 100%. He's got the mind of a quarterback for obvious reasons, and, I mean, you just got to utilize that.
right, Wagner now, after making the PAT, is set to kick off. Speaking of Wagner, he's been super consistent all year. He has attempted now 31 PATs and made 29 of them. That's better than a lot of NFL players you're going to hear. Interesting, though, he's only had one field goal make at a 21-yard field goal. So Wilson, obviously, I think that shows you that they like to put the ball in the end zone a little more than through the uprights.
But also, if they do have to fall back onto their kicker, they know the consistency is there.
Absolutely. All right, let's see if Hempfield can answer. Jimenez with Almodovar are back. Jimenez ran one back for 90 yards last week. Let's see what they can do here. Decent return by Almodovar. He gets popped there at the 25. And the Hempfield Black Knights offense will take the field once again here. This time, they're going to have to put together a drive that's a little bit longer than if they wanted to score last time.
I'm expecting a run here. See what they can get on first down.
Harbaugh is, he fumbles the snap, and he's going to take it himself and not get very far. Maybe picks up one there. A low snap, and that's something we've seen from Hempfield over the weeks, is that those snaps are inconsistent at where they're placed. And that's something that, you see on TV and you would think it's just routine, but obviously having a struggle here for Hempfield.
It's a lot harder than it looks, I'll tell you that. Great way to recover, though, not lose a fumble there.
Harbaugh's looking to his right. He throws. He's got Jackson Shin, the senior, who went down early looking for a flag, but I don't think they're going to give him good coverage there. By Wilson, number 10, Alex Gibble. I'll tell you what, these corners for Wilson are fast. We've seen 2 pass attempts already from Harbaugh, which is another interesting thing from Hempfield. Both passes were into tight coverage, with the corners sticking footstep for footstep with the wide receivers. All right, 3rd and 10 here for Hempfield. And it's a keeper up the middle that gets maybe 6. That's not quite going to be enough. And sure enough, the punting unit comes on.
Great stop by the Wilson defense there.
And Ethan Saunders will go for his 2nd punt attempt of the game here after a good first one.
Let's see if he can continue the trend tonight.
Gets it away end over end. Takes a good Hempfield bounce, and it's collected by Wilson, who gets hit almost immediately and is going to be down at the 40-yard line.
Great way to stick to the tackle there. Didn't let him through.
Absolutely. That's good special teams work from the Hempfield Black Knights there.
Ball spotted at the 41, 1st and 10.
Curious to see if Wilson goes right back to attacking the outside. If they're able to pound the ball tonight, then they won't really have to throw that much.
That's right, and Lenart, who had that run, is in the backfield right now with Brown. 2 receivers to Brown's left. He gets the ball. He's looking to one of those receivers. He's got a man
just
open.
Like that.
Oh, but he just overthrew Brady Gibble there. Gibble had the separation, and if that throw would have been a little better, Gibble has a touchdown there.
That's a huge wake-up call for Hempfield.
That's right. Looks like some blown coverage there. Hempfield corners trying to talk it out, figure out what happened there, and make sure it doesn't happen again.
Gotta keep that one-play mindset, though. Just put it behind you. Got lucky there, though.
Wilson looking to the sideline, getting the play call. Lenart in the backfield again. And here's the snap. It goes to Lenart. He tries to bounce it to the edge again. He's going right. And that time he's swallowed up by Hempfield for maybe only a yard.
And a flag.
Oh, flag comes in late. Looks like maybe a 4-yard carry, but we'll see what the flag does to that.
Right into the Hempfield bench, too.
The flag is against Hempfield. Looks like maybe a face mask on the tackle. And that's going to turn a 4-yard gain into a 19-yard gain. Hempfield's got to clean up the penalties a little bit here. They've had two.
I'm sorry, you can go.
Sorry, that's fine. They've had two already that have. First one backed them up after getting great field position. This one moves Wilson forward. Got to start cleaning it up here.
If you want to beat Wilson, you cannot be making mistakes like these, especially this early in the ball game.
Here's Brown looking to run, and he's got maybe 3 yards on the carry there.
Brown on the carry.
Wilson right now showing a good mix between the run game and the pass game, mixing it up to who they give it to, and then taking those shots when they have them.
It's all about keeping the defense on their heels.
Absolutely right. And for Hempfield, it's all about reading the play and not getting put back on your heels.
You just got to contain the outside and hope you can shut them down up the middle.
Brown hands off, and he's keeping his feet churning. That is Lennart again, and finally brought down after a first down gain of about 10.
Mason Lennart on the carry. Finally brought down by number 48, Gordy Hoover. It's enough for a Wilson first down.
So far, this Wilson run game has been tough to defend with Lennart in there. He's obviously a tough player to bring down. Hempfield's got to get some penetration in the backfield to maybe stop him. This time, ball goes to Avanti Lockhart, who is brought down after minimal gain.
Looked like he was going to break through that one, but Hempfield stuck to it.
Gain of 3 on the play. Second and 7.
Zach, how big would a Hempfield red zone stop here be for the Black Knights?
Huge momentum booster. Honestly, at this point, they'll take any momentum they can get, and that especially would just change the book.
Brown looking to throw. Into coverage, and it's overthrown again.
Nobody could get that one.
Caleb Brown puts his hands up like he's confused. Maybe a little miscommunication there. And interesting, Lennart now comes off the field in this 3rd and 7 situation. Brown looking to the sideline, getting the call. Lockhart is to Brown's right. He's got 2 receivers also on the right and 1 way out left. Gives to Lockhart. Lockhart dancing around. Flag comes in. Lockhart looking to turn the edge. Shaking off tackles, and it looks like he has a first down gain, but there is a flag on the play.
Looked like he almost lost the ball there. Great way to hold on to it. Hempfield's going right for the strip.
That's going to be good for a. Oh, check that penalty flag on the play.
Penalty is on Wilson, and that's going to back them up. I think a hold was the call.
Yeah, it was
that's
early
what
too.
Yeah, that's what happens when your running back starts changing directions. Is so does the defense, and then the blockers end up snagging a jersey here and there. Yeah, that's going to back them up 10 yards, and they're going to have a difficult third and what? 20 here. Brown alone in the backfield. 4 receivers, sends 1 in motion. Brown looking to run it,
It's an option.
And he does, and
Ooh.
he's going to pick it up, and May is brought down just short at the 1 yard line by Max Hostetter with a good tackle to save the points.
Got him showing off his athleticism there.
Caleb Brown on the keeper, touchdown saving tackle for number 3, Max Hostetter.
Quarterback made the right read there.
And now it's 1st and goal for Wilson at the 1 yard line. Let's see what Hempfield can do. You almost think it's obvious that a run's coming up the middle, and there goes Max Hostetter. Official sends him out of the game maybe for some blood or something like that. So that's one of your big guys in the middle that can stop a run. See what they can do here.
67 looked like they subbed Ben Marinos in.
It's good to see him back after a concussion. And he gets a tackle, and but it's ball across the plane, says the referee, and that's another touchdown for Wilson by Avanti Lockhart.
Great way to just pound it in there.
Just stick with that run game that's been so strong for you.
If you can win this game in the trenches, then, I mean, that's what you got to do. It all starts up front.
And here's Wagner with his 2nd PAT attempt of the night. So consistent, as we mentioned earlier. The kick is up and right through the middle. Good for Wagner. And Wilson takes a 14-0 lead. With the time, 3:29 left in the first quarter. Still plenty of time in this game, but Hempfield's obviously starting to slip down a slippery slope. What do they have to do to stay in this one?
Well, I'd tell you that they'd start dishing the run game and start passing more, but I mean, they've already been throwing a lot early, which is not at all what I was expecting considering they have such a young quarterback in to start. But I mean, hey, if they feel good about their game plan, they just got to stick to it. And if it doesn't work out for them here, then that's when you start to change things up.
Yeah, that is interesting with the passing game. Over the past couple of weeks, we've seen Hempfield go an entire half with 1 or only 2 pass attempts. Already have tried 2 today, both minimally successful.
That also shows you how they feel about the Wilson front 7, though.
That's true. They don't want to give it to the run and put them right in the teeth of the Bulldogs here. All right, can Hempfield answer? Almodovar and Jimenez back deep.
Every time you have Jane back there, you could possibly get a
very
huge
dangerous,
home
especially
run.
when he gets his speed up before
Yes, sir.
he's met by the defense. Wagner to kick it away. It's a line drive kick to Almodovar, who fields it and is going to take... Oh, that's right. That's a touchback because he fielded it in the end zone. So Hempfield will take over from their own 20 here. Still have yet to see Tanner Hess be too involved in this offense. Oh, but now in at quarterback is Hess. The substitution for Harbaugh sends Jimenez in motion. And he's looking to keep it. No, he options to pitch. And that is snuffed out by the Wilson Bulldogs. Looks like a loss of 1 or 2 there.
That play did not have a chance of going anywhere.
28 on the 10.
That was sniffed out right from the beginning.
All right, 2nd and 12 now for the Black Knights. Hess alone in the backfield, looking to run again. Breaks a tackle and keeps the shoulder down and picks up a nice game of maybe 10 there. Doesn't look like it's enough for a first down, but it definitely makes 3rd down a lot more manageable. Looks like about 3rd and 3.
He is 7 on the play, 3rd and 3.
Anthony Dreggy in the backfield with Hest now. Dreggy's been very consistent on the ground, and they give it to him. And it doesn't look like he's going to get it. Met immediately at the line is Dreggy.
This is not at all the start Hempfield was looking for tonight.
Anthony Coper with the good push for the Bulldogs there. And the punting unit comes on now for the Black Knights for Ethan Saunders to try his third punt of the night. Just gets it away, and it's still a decent punt, but it takes a Wilson bounce and stops at the Wilson 44-yard line, where they will take over.
Punt down by the Black Knight punt team.
Zach, what do you think Hempfield has to do to get something going on offense here?
Honestly, Colson, I think they're wondering the same thing. They just got to beat them up front, as hard as it must be. It's going to be a battle, and it's not at all going to be easy, but it all comes down to who has the bigger heart tonight, and you got to show it. Under the Friday night lights, anything can happen, so we'll see.
All right, Brown now in the backfield with Lockhart. Low snap, Brown drops back, steps up in the pocket, and he's looking. He's got a man, and it is caught. The jump ball caught by Brady Gibble, and there's a great throw by Caleb Brown after missing the last two. And that's Gibble with a big gain into pretty good coverage, but Gibble obviously has a little bit more speed than Almodovar there.
Put Almodovar on an island, too.
Yeah, he did.
It's not always easy.
Right, now 1st and 10 for Wilson from the Hempfield 12-yard line. Brown gets back looking to pass again, looking to the corner, and it's overthrown yet again by Caleb Brown. He's looking a little inconsistent here in the beginning of this game.
He's not afraid to sling it, though.
He is not, and he definitely shows some arm strength there on that last throw. Hempfield's defense right now doing anything they can to maybe give the team some momentum here. A stop would do such that. Brown throws over the middle, and it's caught for the first down and dropped right at the 1-yard line again, where Wilson will have first. Oh, sorry, that was not a first down. I thought it was enough. It will be third.
Third and short.
Third and short, maybe inches. Well, first down pretty much gives you a touchdown here.
There's movement.
And it is going to be, yeah, sure enough, a false start on Wilson. That'll back them up 5 yards. And make this a 3rd and 5 coming up here. Do you think Brown goes to the ground here or keeps it in the air?
Well, going in the air got them down here, so let's see if they stick with it. But at the same time, they could just pound it right in. Interested to see what formation they come out with.
Interesting call. Another call comes in.
The call has been changed.
Call was reversed.
Now encroachment is a penalty.
And encroachment was called on the Black Knights. So that's half the distance to the goal. It's 1st and goal from the 1-inch line here. And yep, sure enough, it's in. That's Lockhart with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And that puts Wilson up 20-0 just in the 1st quarter.
Hempfield has to do something next drive. Even if it's just 3 points, they just got to get on the scoreboard. Because this is getting out of hands really fast.
And here's Wagner with his 3rd attempt of the night. Up and good again. Wagner now 31 for 33 on the year for points after touchdowns.
Wagner's point after is good. Just to build up the play on the corner. Wilson leads 21-0.
And we have just under 30 seconds left in the first quarter here for the Black Knights to get the ball and then most likely take it into the second quarter here.
Yeah, I think they're just going to run it and then regroup.
Stop by and call for a personal tour. Visit online at bluecrossville.org to learn more. J.K. Mechanical is a proud part of the Hempfield School District. For 30 years, J.K. Mechanical has been helped the community with heating, cooling, geothermal plumbing, and now electrical.
As I mentioned earlier, Wilson is coming off of their first loss of the season this week to Manheim Township, who plays Warwick in what is sure to be a shootout in Lidditz. But do you think Wilson's a little bit angry that they lost a game?
I think that's an understatement, Colson. I mean, with those two great teams, there can only be one winner, so you just have to pray for whoever's facing the loser of that matchup the next week.
And Wilson right now showing that they are very unhappy with that one loss, and it looks like they're out for blood. And here's Wagner again with the kick. It's a low line drive. And it's going to go back into the end zone, but was it touched? No, it was not. It's going to be a touchback. A little bit lucky there for Hempfield to get that ball on the 20 instead of what could have been disastrous.
It made tonight even worse of a start of the first quarter.
And Hempfield is going to have time for at least one play here before the first quarter ends. Back in at quarterback is Harbaugh for this drive. Got two receivers to his right, but hands to Hess, who is met in the backfield and tackled for a loss.
Just got to look at the speed to shut him down on that one.
That was Adrian Santana there on the tackle, and you're absolutely right. He came so fast into the backfield there to make that tackle. That's going to be the end of the first quarter. Hempfield will have a 2nd and 16 coming from the other direction to start the second quarter. So, as we mentioned before here on HSD TV 7, these teams that get the early lead tend to exhale or let off the gas, as some people would say. What does Wilson have to do to ensure that they stay on Hempfield and give them no chance of coming back?
It all comes down to balanced offense. I mean, on defense, they've been doing their job and just have been shutting down whatever Hempfield gives them. But on offense, if they keep that running and passing balance, then Hempfield just might not have an answer tonight.
And so, if Hempfield can find an answer, where is their answer going to come from? Is it a player? Is it a style of offense? What are we looking for from Hempfield to turn this game around?
They got to get their receivers going. Jane Jimenez has been a rocket. If you see him get that first step and just burst out there, he can get separation on almost anyone in this league.
That's right. And also you have 6'3" Max Hostetter, who's a team captain on this team, plays a lot of tight end, and Jackson Shand, who's 6'4", also a team captain on this team, but doesn't get many targets.
You got to look at what they do in the blocking game, though. Whether it's pass blocking or run blocking, they seem to always be there to protect the runner.
All right, Harbaugh is back now, flanked by Hess. Pass batted down, and they're going to call it incomplete. Looked like it may have been a fumble.
Nah.
But
he threw that forward.
Yep, Harbaugh got it away just in time.
3rd and 16.
You said, let's watch the Hempfield blocking here. That didn't look too hot.
Not at all. when you're this close to the goal line, this is when you really got to pick up the blocking. And then on the defensive side, they're thinking the same exact thing.
That's
they're
right.
this close to his safety, so they're just going to turn it up that extra notch.
It's going to be 3rd and 16, but Hempfield decides to take a timeout to make sure they don't give up what would be even more of a momentum crusher, anything like a safety or tackle for loss at their own end zone.
Heading back out. Let's see how they line up.
And you really wonder about Cameron Harbaugh here. Only a sophomore, probably hasn't faced many 3rd and 16 situations with his back to his own end zone.
I wonder if Hempfield just runs it here.
You think they play it safe and try to hope they can pick up a big game?
But at the same time, they need points soon.
And Harbaugh drops back and he's looking. Doesn't have anything. He's going to be sacked.
Very difficult punting situation coming up.
Yeah, that is going to be a tough punt. Ethan Capitano was the first one to Harbaugh there and gets credited for that sack.
At this point, it would be considered a success if they can just get this ball past the 50 on the punt.
Ethan Saunders at the back of his own end zone. And he's been put under pressure already this game. Let's see if he gets it away here. It's a high snap. Good blocking. He does get it away, but it is a weak punt, and it's going to go out at the Hempfield 20-yard line. Wilson has 20 yards to put it in here. And already you have to think, does Hempfield have any answers? Does Coach Ron Zieber have any tricks up his sleeve to maybe put Hempfield back into this game?
A turnover would be huge here. Because I don't think Hempfield can really bear taking any more points up on the board against them.
Turnovers are key in this game, but Caleb Brown has only turned the ball over one time on an interception. So it's going to be tough to get him out of the air. Maybe they can force a fumble here. Pass over the middle is caught for a minimal gain. And that's going to bring up 2nd and 7. Almodovar on the tackle there.
Tonight he just seems to be consistently making the smart read almost every single play. Whether it's a read option or just a pass like that, going down to his check down, making the right throw.
Brown right now has Lockhart in the backfield. 3 receivers to his right, none to his left. Low snap, hands it to Lockhart, who looks to run left but switches up the middle and gets a couple yards there to bring up 3rd and short. And it is going to be 3rd and 2 here.
At the least, Hempfield's got to hold them to a field goal.
Can Hempfield make a stop? Brown, quick screen.
Foot race. And he's in.
That's Eli Rotenberg with the touchdown catch to put the Bulldogs up by 27 here early in the second quarter. Hempfield just on their heels. They have no answer for this number 9 ranked team, Wilson.
Well, they're showing you why they're top 10. That's for sure.
That's right. And here's Wagner to attempt the 4th.
This has to be crushing for Hempfield, coming off a win last week with some momentum finally built up.
And you've got to credit it to Hempfield. In some of their games, they've hung on to the very end.
They have.
And in a league that is probably one of the best in the state here. Wilson, as we mentioned, is number 9. Warwick, who Hempfield got beat by earlier in this season, is ranked 11, and Manheim Township is ranked at number 3 in the state of Pennsylvania. This LL League is tough this year.
Even some of the other close matchups Hempfield's had, you got to look at it. Central, they've been dominant for years, and
That's right.
I mean, the score honestly was not It made the game not seem as close as it actually was because of the final minute scoring on Mannheim Central. But Hempfield hung in that game all game long until
That's
the
right, and
final
that was,
4 minutes, I think.
Yeah, that was a final minute touchdown from Mannheim Central that put them up 24-14. So you figure that was 17-14 before that touchdown. So Hempfield was in that game against that powerhouse.
Then you also have Central York at Central York. That was a nail-biter the whole way through. Came down to an onside kick at the very end.
That's right. Hempfield just falls short in that match. Haven't gotten the best luck in the world, but they've gotten the win against Dallastown at their season opener. And then last week they did beat undefeated Lampeter Strasburg 27-20 in what was a awesome game to watch. Wagner boots it away. It's going to be returned by Jimenez. Let's see what he can do. He's looking for the edge. He's getting chased. And wow, it's not often you see Jimenez get chased from behind and caught. And he is brought down at the 21-yard line.
Jane's been a standout for Hempfield with his speed, and just on special teams, you can see almost everyone out there is matching him with just the speed alone.
Yeah, the Bulldogs are fast. They can put their foot in the ground, change directions, and get downfield on offense. But right now it's Hempfield's turn to see if they can just put a couple plays together, maybe get a little bit of momentum, not necessarily score, but maybe how about get past their 50-yard line here.
They just got to take whatever they can get at this point. They just need something positive just to build off of.
Harbaugh in the backfield now, flanked by Hess. He gets it and gives to Hess, who gets swallowed up at the line for no gain.
I really think Hempfield's got to try something out at this point. Running up the middle is just not working.
Wilson so far is 3-0 on the road this year. And they're playing well again tonight, looking to make that 4-0. They've outscored their opponents overall 238-118. That's a large margin, while Hempfield has been outscored 166-23.
Got a flag?
As a
Maybe.
flag comes in here. We've got offsides from Wilson is the initial call. And that'll give Hempfield something. Little 5-yard gain
They'll take it at this point.
to make it 2nd and 7.
Second try at second down.
Hess now in at quarterback with Draghi on his left. And Hess is going to take it to the left and get nothing. Maybe one or two. Interesting. They loaded the right side there and then ran left. And Hess immediately swarmed by Bulldogs. They read it the whole way.
Misdirection just didn't work out for them that time. I'd like to see Hempfield try and get Jackson Shan and Max Ostetter both involved early. I mean, both of them are team captains and haven't really received as many targets as you'd expect for the two of them, but, I mean, hey, at this point, they'll take anything. They just got to start trying new things.
That's right, and both of those two captains coming off of injuries all year last year.
Another flag.
And a flag comes in, and they're going to blow the play dead. Offsides again by the Bulldogs.
Offsides goes against Wilson.
And that will move Hempfield from a 3rd and 7 to a 3rd and 2. A little bit more manageable. Is a first down big here for Hempfield? Obviously in the game, but as a momentum builder. Because they haven't had many of those yet.
100% for sure. But at the same time, I don't know if they could really get it just going up the middle from how the Bulldogs have just been shutting that down. So, I don't know, maybe short little screen pass here.
Hess in a quarterback again. They load the right side, and this time he runs to the right side. Player unblocked. That is Matt
Ball's out.
Fry.
I think the whistle was blown dead, though, before it came out.
Forward progress stopped by number 12, Mason Lenhart.
Matt Fry on the tackle and then strips the ball, but it looks like Hess was down.
Yep. 4th and 1. Oh, 4th and 5.
4th and 5, and Ethan Saunders on to punt yet again for the Black Knights after not being able to connect for a first down here. Just gets it away again and takes a good bounce, but it's fielded.
It's running backwards.
And Lennart decides he was going to try to bounce it to the edge again, which he's done once already tonight, but couldn't get anything there and actually goes backwards. Wilson will start from their own 38 here.
Could take special teams as a positive from Hempfield. Haven't really given up too many big returns yet, if any at all.
Wilson ball 1st and 10. Ball on 38.
Right, here's Brown in the gun to get the snap. Little jump from Hempfield, no flag. And swallowed up.
No
Brown by
flags.
Max Hostetter with a tackle for a loss there. It's a little bit of momentum for the Hempfield defense here.
Great start to the drive.
It's going to be 2nd and 15 for the Bulldogs. Do you think they take that deep shot here? They've beaten the cornerbacks almost every time.
Well, they definitely have no reason to be afraid to. So, we'll see what they come out with here.
Brown keeps it.
And there
Looking
it
for
is.
that deep shot, and it is dropped by Eli Rotenberg, who just had the touchdown catch. That time, he had the separation, the throw was there, and the ball falls right between the arms. I don't know if that ball could have been placed any more perfect than that. Hit him right in the forearms and in the chest and just down through the hole in between his arms.
That was a fantastic throw, just tight coverage.
This brings up a big 3rd and 15 for the Bulldogs.
3rd and 15.
And even bigger for the Hempfield defense if they can get a stop here and maybe get field position. It's a little bit better than what they've had. Brown drops back. He's looking over the middle, and it's going to be incomplete. Little underthrown there as pressure was put on Brown. Good job by the Knights to come up with a stop there, and the punting unit for the Bulldogs comes on.
4th down for the Bulldogs.
Great stop for Hempfield there. They needed something like that. Let's hope the momentum carries on to the offense.
Hess in the backfield now after a little bit of confusion from the Wilson sideline.
I was just letting them know.
He's a, and that punt takes a great bounce for Wilson. And Jimenez says, let it go, and it's going to be down at the 30-yard line.
Punt down by the Bulldogs right on the red, white, and blue stripe. Offense comes on the field 1st and 10 on the 30.
Just realized I said Hess in the backfield there for Hempfield. I meant Hess trying to get into the backfield for Hempfield and maybe disrupt the punt, because Hempfield last week against LS did have a punt block that set them up perfectly for a touchdown in that game where every point mattered. And a one-score victory for Hempfield.
I could be mistaken, but they also had a field goal block, correct? Or was it an extra point?
Yeah, it was an extra point, yes. But great special teams last week from Hempfield. Hess looking to take a shot. And it could have been intercepted, but the ball was dropped. Throw is just underthrown, looking for Sam Hess.
Got lucky on that one. That is not how you want to start off a
Absolutely
drive. After finally getting a stop on D, you can't reward them like that.
2nd and 10.
Do you like the effort to take a shot downfield from Hempfield? Maybe not the throw, but the idea.
I do. I mean, Wilson's been shutting it down up front, so you got to try other things, but I'm just glad to see them opening up the playbook.
That's Harbaugh who gets hit as he throws, and it's going to be incomplete. Max Hostetter comes over, makes sure he's all right. Harbaugh took a shot there, and he's going to come off the field. Seems okay.
This just has been a nightmare for Hempfield so far.
He's getting the call from coach now. And Hempfield faces a 3rd and 10 from their own 30. Harbaugh drops back.
Under pressure.
Rolls to his left. He's got to make a move and gets hit hard. That's Jaden Jones with the initial hit.
For such a young quarterback in here, offense is not helping him much, especially up front blocking. It seems like Wilson's getting in the backfield in the first 2 seconds almost every single snap.
Yeah, and Harbaugh makes the right decision to roll out to his left and escape the pocket. Looks downfield, realizes he has no options. The coverage is just so tight.
There's no
Has to take it
separation.
himself and takes a shot as a reward for his smart play up to that point. And now Saunders will punt away again and just gets it off. Maybe looks like it was deflected. It's a weak end-over-end punt, but takes a great Hempfield bounce. Wow, look at that. And that's going to go all the way to the 39 of the Bulldogs.
On the 39-yard line.
Good job by Ethan Saunders to just get it off his foot.
For Hempfield, he's been one of the bright spots so far tonight. But I mean, hey, you got to give punters the love too.
That's right.
This score could be a lot worse if he hasn't had the solid night he's had so far.
Yeah, Wilson has capitalized on when they've had great field position, but they've been a little shaky when they're backed up, with the exception of only one drive. And here's a pitch up the middle to Lockhart, who struggles and fights for the extra yards and gets about 2 more yards.
Took quite a few to bring him down on that one.
That's right. That was a whole swarm of black jerseys there around Lockhart to get the stop.
2nd and 6.
It's going to be about 2nd and 4 here.
2nd and 4.
And here's Brown, hands it off to Lockhart again. Lockhart gets up the middle and is going to be awfully close to a first down.
Vontae Lockhart stood up and stopped after a little bit of forward progress.
Oh, but they mark him well short of a first down. Looks like it's going to be 3rd and 2. Wilson eating up the clock here by keeping it on the ground. You said that was a key for Hempfield, but now Wilson
Hempfield
using
stacked
that.
in the box.
And Lockhart
Ooh.
met hard at the line to gain, and looks like he's going to be about half a yard short. You might want to bring the chains out
Yeah.
to measure this one.
I definitely think he's
Oh,
short
no, they
here.
give him the first down.
Oh, never mind.
Wow, I really didn't think that was a first down. That looked like it was.
But at the same
Great.
time, they can see better down there on the field than we can, so.
That's right.
Colson 10, ball 51.
Looks like a little bit of confusion. Brown's got his hands up, doesn't know what's going on. He's going to have to get it off quick here, running out of time. And he does. And Brown just keeps up the middle, gets hit hard.
You could hear that one from over here.
That's right, that was shoulder on shoulder there. Couldn't tell who laid the hit from Hempfield, but a good hit it was. And we've seen the quarterbacks from both teams now get hit pretty hard.
Both teams are playing pretty feisty. I mean, Hempfield doesn't seem to be quitting anytime soon.
That's right, and that's so important. Just even if this game may be out of reach for Hempfield in the long run, they've got, I believe, McCaskey next week. Yeah, McCaskey next week, and that is a
very winnable game.
Yeah, that's a winnable game for Hempfield and a must-win just to boost their confidence. Playoffs hopes are starting to dwindle for Hempfield, but a win against McCaskey would be nice at home to give the fans and the team something to be proud of.
Handoff goes number 12, Mason Lenhart.
Wilson now has a 3rd and short here, 3rd and 1 officially.
3rd and short.
Brown in the backfield, flank to his right, gives to Lockhart to the left, and he's got it. It's going to be another first down for Wilson. 1:41 left to go in the half. And it's getting a little bit chillier. It's dropped about 4 or 5 degrees here. And if you haven't noticed by now, you obviously haven't watched any football games before, but I am not the great Casey Crater. He is at the beach right now enjoying the Outer Banks, where it is a little bit warmer than 50 degrees. Right there is a good tackle for a loss of about a half a yard. Wilson will have 2nd and 10 or so.
Expect to see Casey back next week, though.
That's right. But we had the choice of not calling this football game or have Colson Hunt step in and see what he can do, and I said, sure, I'll try it. We'll see how it goes. Here's Brown with the handoff now, and a big hole for Lennart. Gets up to the line to gain, and they might mark him a little short. And Wilson takes a timeout. And it is a first down awarded to the Bulldogs.
Wilson's just trying to see if they can go into halftime with even a bigger lead. Just get as many points as they can.
50 seconds left to score. And you figure Wilson wants to really make a statement here.
They really just want to get this game over as soon as they can.
Hempfield's played better in the second quarter. Not as good as they have to, though, to start putting points up against this unbelievable Wilson defense. So Wilson has 1st and 10 now from the 26-yard line. Max Hostetter, Aiden Powers in on the D line. They've done, and Gordy Hoover in there too, I think, and they've done a great job at the line with other teams, but this Wilson front is strong. And
they're attacking
Brown
right.
Looking, and it is through the hands of Matt Fry, who looks like he thinks he should have had it, shaking off the hand a little bit there. May have been some contact, but looked to me like it was as the ball was arriving.
I was just about to say, right before the play started, there's a lot of open green back there. I was waiting to see Wilson just attack that area.
And attack that area they did.
Especially with all the receivers out wide.
But just through the fingertips of Matt Fry. And Brown with Lennart to his left. 2 receivers also out there. Screen pass to Lennart, who's got a lot of room in front of him. He breaks the tackles, and he's got...
Foot race.
He dives in for the touchdown. And Wilson does get another score before the end of half. And it only took 14 seconds. Oh, but there is a flag on the play.
Might be coming right back.
And it is holding on Wilson. That will back them up and take the touchdown off the board.
They still have plenty of time, though, in this half.
It's also going to set up 2nd and 20 here.
37 seconds is a lot when you consider their field position.
Goes back 10 yards from the start of the foul. Second down coming up again, 15 yards to line the game.
Okay. Oh, 2nd and 15 here for the Bulldogs. And Brown gets the snap. Fry in motion. Brown looking up the middle. He's got Gibble open, but good defense there by Hempfield's Ethan Kaufman to meet Gibble as he was catching the ball. No pass interference needed there. Ball falls incomplete, and it is now 3rd and 15 for the Bulldogs. Who do you think Wilson's looking to give the ball to here? Think it's going to come out to Eli Rotenberg, who they've targeted twice. One of those targets ended up being a touchdown.
With the reads that the quarterback's been making tonight, honestly, he's just going to throw to whoever's open.
That's right.
Has with the draw up the middle. Gain of 8 on the play. 7-2.
Now pull the base. You're going to get the play out. You got the play.
And that's halftime. The score, Wilson 28, Hempfield 0. Fans be sure to get a good seat in the stands as we crown our 2019 homecoming queen.
Welcome back to the Georgia Law Firm Stadium for the second half of play between the Hempfield Black Knights and the Wilson Bulldogs. And man, Zach, this game has been all Wilson. They lead 28-0. They have 254 yards of total offense compared to Hempfield's 2 yards of offense. 0-2. 2 yards of offense total. The only positive we can see from Hempfield is the special teams has been good. Wilson has been limited to 5 yards of punt return and only 2 returns out of a whole bunch of punts from Ethan Saunders. And they've also gotten 32 yards on kickoff returns after Wilson scores their touchdowns. So, what do you think the talk was to Hempfield, Zach?
Well, you saw at the end of the first half, they did get that 1 turnover on defense, which was huge, especially in the red zone. And I think, honestly, they just need to keep swarming the ball and get as many chances on offense as they can.
All right, Hempfield lets that ball go into the end zone, and they will start the second half from their own 20-yard line. Down by 28. Can they get any life going into their game here and put some sort of score on the board? You have to admit, Zach, they were playing better in the second quarter. Wilson scores 21 points and lights up the scoreboard in the first quarter, held to 7 in the second quarter. Let's see what the Knights can do to answer here.
I want to see if they can establish the run game in this half.
It is Harbaugh in the backfield with Hess as the running back. Low snap. Harbaugh handles it well and is going to be sacked on the first play of the second half. Not exactly the start Hempfield was looking for here.
Cam definitely should have tried to escape the pocket on that one, though. Just kind of let it collapse around him.
He did. He was hoping his line would bail him out, but those Wilson defensive linemen are so big and so powerful and have been able to get a push all night into the backfield and put pressure on Harbaugh or Hess, whoever's in a quarterback.
Scrambling could have given his receivers about possibly 2 more seconds, maybe even 3. Maybe get some more separation.
Harbaugh drops back again, looking for one of those receivers. He's got
He might
Hostetter
have
with some
him.
separation, and Hostetter hauls it in for the first gain catch of the night. And that's a great throw from the sophomore Cameron Harbaugh to finally we see one of those captains get involved. That's Max Hostetter on the catch.
I love seeing that, especially since he's had a quiet night so far. Not on defense, but for sure on offense. And
That's right.
if they're going to him early in this half, let's see if they get other players involved that haven't really had their name called that much.
You'd like to see Jackson Shand here. Big target. He lines up next to Max Hostetter out to out to the left there at the bottom of your screen. Low snap handled by Harbaugh. Oh, he's got pressure in his face, and he's brought down there for another sack. Harbaugh looking to his left, didn't see the pressure coming from his right, and takes a good 6-yard sack there to bring up 2nd and 16.
2nd and 17.
One positive from Harbaugh tonight is he hasn't really had any issues with turnovers.
That's right. He has kept the ball close to him in the face of pressure, and he's been hit a lot and held onto the ball. Also, the throws have been good enough. Like right there, you see only Max Hostetter had a chance at that ball, not the cornerback. And right there, as I say that, Harbaugh throws a little bit too low and far away from Hess on the screen.
Just let that one get away from him.
It almost looks like that was a backward pass. It obviously wasn't. The refs didn't call it like that, but it was awfully close there.
It's no surprise to see them ditching the run game, though, after the first half they had.
Harbaugh now facing 3rd and 16. Drops back, looking big. Hit as he throws, and it's just too far. Max Hostetter turned around looking for the ball, and it was maybe should have taken a couple steps there, do you think, Zach?
I don't know if that was miscommunication or what, but it just wasn't there where it had to be. You got to think with a young quarterback coming in, he's not really going to have a lot of reps in with the ones.
That's exactly what I was going to say, and these receivers might not know. That was a pretty good throw from Harbaugh distance-wise. They might not know he had that in the tank.
You're seeing he has quite an arm.
And here's Saunders, gets the punt away. It's end over end and takes a great Hempfield bounce. Wow, and that's fielded at the 19-yard line.
Great way to swarm him.
And immediately swarmed is Mason Lennart for minimal gain, maybe a couple yards. And the Bulldogs will have the ball on their 20 as another good punt comes off the foot of Ethan Saunders there.
He's having himself a night tonight.
He is, and he's getting a little more action than the Hempfield sideline would maybe want him to have, but he's come in and he's done his job at putting Wilson pretty far back almost every time. Now it's the defense's turn to get a stop here.
He's got space.
Lennart does have space, and he steps out of bounds after a big 20-yard gain there. 21 yards, give or take. Ethan Kaufman shoves him out of bounds.
We have a player down, it looks like.
And yeah, there is a player slow to get up. That is number 58, Giancarlo Ventura for Wilson, holding his right hand, it looks like, and he's going to take a little break here. Shaking it off a little bit. Seems to be decent, but he's going to sit this play out.
Dr. Rogers from Orthopedic Associate Lancaster is our sideline position.
And for him at right tackle comes number 77, Sal Pugliese. Let's see if Hempfield attacks that. Oh.
Another flag on the play.
It's a false start for Wilson there called. I thought I saw 48 on Hempfield. Gordy Hoover jump a little bit. I don't think he was offsides, but maybe he was drawn a little bit by the false start there from Wilson. That'll back them up 5 yards, and they have 1st and 15.
Access to orthopedic specialists, quick evaluations, on-site x-rays, and MRIs. Joe Ellis here for all your orthopedic needs. Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 7. Saturdays, 8 to noon, and no appointment necessary. Find out more at www.fixbones.com.
How's it going?
And here's Brown in the backfield again. Gives to Lennart, who's got a big hole up the middle.
Showing off the burst on that play.
And picks up about 13 of the 15 he needed for the first down to take 1st and long and turn it into 2nd and short here.
Brought down by Sean Hammer. It's going to bring up 2nd and 3.
Brown in the backfield again. Lennart next to him again, and 3 receivers to the left. Lennart switches sides here. And picking up the first game is Lennart.
Leonard up the middle again.
Right up the middle for a good gain there for Wilson. And Hempfield's defense is once again on their heels here. They're going to have to put their foot in the ground and get a stop for Wilson if they want to stand a chance at even putting points up on the board at this point.
At this point, Hempfield's just got to make the game respectable when it comes to the score. If they give up another score, here it is. And there it is.
Another big run off to the right side, and he's still on his feet. Still on his feet, still moving.
Look at the power in his.
Look at the push from the lineman there, getting upfield.
It was a great team effort there.
That was another 5 yards. Lennart was met at the 20, and his team pushed him him and 5 Hempfield players all the way down to the 15 for an extra 5 yards.
You never see a pile like that move to that extent,
And
that
that's-
far down the field.
Yeah, every once in a while in high school that'll happen. And the refs, as you saw there, they'll let them play if they still think it's got a chance before they blow that play dead. Quick throw.
And just
Quick
like
throw
that,
to Matt Fry, and Wilson has a touchdown early here in the 3rd quarter to put them up 34-0.
That's good for a Wilson touchdown.
And that's another touchdown pass from Caleb Brown. And Matt Fry gets credited with the touchdown reception there after missing an earlier one right through the fingers that he was pretty disappointed about. They run a very similar play, and that time hands stay solid, and he's in for the touchdown. And Wagner comes on to take another peek.
great for his confidence.
Another point after the touchdown here for Wagner, and it's up and right down the middle yet again. As Wilson now leads by 35. Hempfield just trying to get something on the board on their homecoming night. Speaking of homecoming, the Queen was just announced, and it is one of HSD TV7's own Maddie Olson, so a quick congratulations to her for winning Homecoming Queen for 2019.
Come on out and dine in style. Loxley's, the perfect place to hang with family and friends post-game. Visit Loxley'sLexture.com or call 778-982-431 for more information.
So as we mentioned at the start of the half, Hempfield's special teams has been a strong point for them. Do you think Jimenez is going to try to put the team on his back here?
Well, we'll see what the kick gives him.
That's right.
If it's pinned deep, there's only so much he can do, but if the blocking aligns itself, all he needs is a hole, and he could very well take it to the house.
He's fast, but as we mentioned earlier, he has been chased down already in this game a couple times. Let's see if he can keep those feet turning and get some yardage here on the kickoff return.
They definitely know about his ability after what he did last week.
That's right.
They have the film.
He's only received 1 out of the 4 kicks from Wilson, and he's going to receive 2 here. But
there
it's
it is.
through the end zone, and it's a touchback. Good kick by Wagner there to keep Jimenez off the ball. And the Knights will take over at their own 20. Hempfield at the half had gained 0 first downs. And as we mentioned, only 2 yards of total offense, but already the catch by Max Hostetter changes that. Hempfield has some offensive momentum. Can they string a couple of those good plays together and get down the field and at least put the Knights in field goal range for Nick O'Neill, who we haven't called his name except for the opening kickoff tonight. As Tanner Hess gets a screen pass and gets a couple yards, still on his feet, lunges forward for a gain of maybe about 4.
Plays forward for 4 yards. Maybe 2nd and 6.
Looks like Dragy's coming in.
That's right, Zach. Harbaugh at quarterback right now, flanked to his left by Hess and to his right by Draghi. 2 receivers to his right. Hands to Hess.
He's got space.
Had a little bit of space, picked up a couple yards. Looks like it's going to bring up 3rd and very short, half a yard here.
31.
Clock's not running. Doesn't matter.
Harbaugh, low snap, hands it off up the middle to Draghi, who's got a push. And I'm not sure he got the line to gain. It's awfully close.
Handoff up the middle, number 27.
Looks like the chain gang. Yep, they're moving.
And yep, that will be enough for Hempfield's 2nd first down of the game. As they now have 1st and 10 from their own 30. Hempfield finally starting to put yards together on offense. Let's see if they can get... You think they take a shot here, Zach?
Well, they do have Jackson Chan on. Oh, no, he's
Harbaugh
throwing the
looking
opposite way.
mid-range throw. And that's Sam Hess on the reception for maybe a gain of 6 or 7 there to bring up 2nd and 4.
That's another senior starter who doesn't really get his name called as much as you'd like to see.
That's right, only I think 2 targets tonight. The first one was almost picked off, but lucky for Hempfield, just out of reach for the Wilson corner.
Hempfield does have really solid receivers. They just have to spread the ball and get it to them.
And those receivers have to find a way to get space against these also solid Wilson corners. Harbaugh rolling to his left, throwing. It's a wobbly pass to Hostetter. Here it's incomplete.
50-50 ball.
All over him was Alex Gibble, but no flag comes in. And that's right, it was a 50-50 ball that Gibble just stuck a hand in there and poked it out of Max Hostetter's big reach. Alex Gibble only 5'11" against Max Hostetter's 6'3", and Hostetter outweighs him by a good 50 pounds.
Wow.
But Hostetter was not able to haul that one in.
I'll tell you what, I'm starting to see what Coach Zieber sees in Harbaugh. For a sophomore, he's showing off his arm tonight.
And again going to the passing game and picking up a 3rd first down is Sam Hess. Yet again, same play they ran 2 plays ago. And
There you
Hempfield
go.
has now put together a couple plays that are driving them up the field. Slowly but surely, but they're looking a little bit better here.
Starting to show some signs of life here on this drive.
Hempfield with the ball now on their own 43. Harbaugh hands to Hess now, trying to get the run game going, and Hess is going to pick up 1 or 2 there. Man, Hess cannot find that edge he's been able to find so consistently all season.
No, he cannot. And that might actually show why Zieber decided to go with the QB change this week. Because most of Tanner Hess's game revolves around his ability to be mobile, and
A lot
I mean,
of option plays you see there.
and then that sets up the play action. But I mean, tonight they just have not got the run game going.
And if you watch Wilson's defense, how fast they can all get out to the edge. All 11 players are inside that right hash. And here's Hess to the left side now. Now he's got room. Flag comes in, but Hess is off to a foot race. Hess is going to score a touchdown for Hempfield, pending the flag here. I don't know if this is going to stand, and Hess with a great run, but I think it's going to be called back. Jackson Shand talking to the ref, pleading his case, and a holding is called against Hempfield. That's going to back that all the way back up. Oh, Hempfield's so close to a great play. Hess finally frees up the first time the Wilson defense has been here, and they're going to bring it back because of a holding penalty. Right as they were getting momentum, they commit a penalty that backs them up 5 yards here for 2nd and 15 coming up.
This next play is going to be huge. See if Hempfield goes right back at them, or if they just kind of fall back and crumble. You got to keep the aggressiveness up, though.
Wilson rushes 3 and still gets pressure. Oh, a flag comes in as that shot was deep downfield. Jimenez agrees with it. I think he may have gotten tugged as he was going for that ball or bumped.
I don't know about that one, Colson.
I don't know. I thought it looked pretty clean too. Just
didn't look catchable.
Shoulder to shoulder. Yeah, that's right. That throw was well overthrown. Then again, Jimenez is fast, and maybe if he wasn't bumped there, he's able to keep going and reach that ball. But that's a 15-yard penalty against the Bulldogs. That's going to put Hempfield right at the yard. Oh, they're going to move the change. That's another first down for Hempfield.
It's rare that you see Jaden overthrown. Usually we're used to seeing him underthrown, considering
and
how far he can stretch the field.
And another thing about Jimenez is he's got lots of hustle in him, and he's almost always diving for a ball, even if it's out of his reach. And there you didn't really see the dive, so maybe that is the telltale sign that he was held up or tugged. Harbaugh looking pretty good in this second half here. Let's see what he can do now. In the gun with 2 receivers to his right. Hands to Hess, who goes right. And Hess gets maybe 2 yards there on the ground.
Stuck by Johnny Wildman. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8.
Hempfield's doing a much better job in the run game this half.
That run brings up 2nd and 8 here for Hempfield.
Hempfield just completely gave up on trying to go right up the middle because it's been shut down consistently almost every single drive.
Now Wilson rushes 5. It's a blitz, and Harbaugh throws high, and it's tipped out of bounds by Sam Hess. Harbaugh had pressure in his face. 2 or 3 Wilson defenders came unblocked through the line.
Looked like that had potential to be picked off after the tip there.
I thought so, but it looks like we didn't have a great vantage point on that, and it was going out of bounds anyway. Do you think you try to target Hostetter again on a big throw here?
I don't see why not.
He has been open in the last 2 big throws.
Yes, he has.
Sam Hess to the left, Hostetter to the right, along with Shand on the right. Harbaugh stepping up in the pocket, looking for Hess, and does not have the angle. Good defense there from number 6, Julian Smith.
I still love seeing Harbaugh just sling it, though. He's not afraid at all.
He's got great feet, steps up, and
great
puts
confidence
his waist into it. Yeah, that's exactly right. Confidence is building as the game's gone on, too, I think. That's definitely promising for Hempfield in the future years, as long as Harbaugh can stay healthy. as these Hempfield quarterbacks have undergone some injury. Colin Peters out with a concussion. Luke Miller, who got some play time in at quarterback in his career. Oh, look at this.
Oh,
a trick
fake.
play on 4th down. Oh, and the ball falls incomplete. Underthrown by Ethan Saunders. Interesting call. I think I like that one. Ethan Saunders has been having a good night. Maybe let him throw the ball.
Just not there for them, though.
Not quite there. Looked a little bit rushed. Not sure if Saunders has attempted a pass yet this season.
And
But that one was a bit off the mark.
When you're down 0-35, you just got to dig deep into the playbook and hope to find something to get anything going at this point.
That at least got the Hempfield student section into the game because they all were expecting the punt, and all of a sudden you heard them yell and scream, and Ethan Saunders was throwing the ball. That is Jaden Jones with a nice carry to give the Bulldogs a first down.
Handoff goes to Jaden Jones. Knocked out of bounds by Ethan Kaufman. That's good for a Wilson first down.
And Wilson now has a different quarterback in. Senior Nick Williams is playing here. The backup to Caleb Brown, who has been excellent all season.
Great to give him some playing time.
And he's going to get the last play of the 3rd quarter and the rest of the 4th quarter, assuming Wilson doesn't decide to change their minds on that. Well, Zach, every quarter Hempfield has been closer to putting points on the board, or at least holding Wilson. What do you think they can do here in the 4th quarter to get any sort of life going into next week where they play the 0-6 McCaskey Red Tornadoes?
Well, for starters, they definitely just need to get points. It doesn't matter if it's a field goal, touchdown, they just can't get shut out. That is just demoralizing to a team. And you've seen in this second half, they've actually had a lot more success in the passing game, which is then actually opening up the running game. And that brings that good balance you need on offense.
That's right, Zach. Hempfield with 49 yards of passing in that quarter and 54 yards total. You said it opened up the running game, and it did because Tanner Hess got freed up on that one play that ended up getting called back. Other than that, they've gotten a couple yards here and there, but the sacks have eliminated the rushing yards that Hempfield has gained here. And Wilson now has the ball, hands to Jones up the middle. Good push there for a gain of about 5.
It looked like Hempfield knew exactly what they were doing on that play, but they still just jumped off the line quicker than they could.
The Hempfield Marching Knights trying to give some life to the Hempfield crowd as the 3rd to 4th quarter Sweet Caroline plays over the Georgia List Law Firm Stadium here. And here's Williams in the gun. Gets the snap and hands to Jones yet again, who pushes up the middle and is not going to get much this time, maybe 1 yard there. A good stand from the Black Knights.
I'm expecting a lot of rushing plays from Wilson in this final quarter. I think they really just want to wrap up this game. Don't want any more injuries tonight.
That's right, just under 11 minutes left to go. And you expect Wilson to keep it on the ground for the most part here. Nick Williams has been in the game a couple times this season. He has 1 touchdown pass to go along with 1 interception with a 75% completion percentage, so you know he's fairly accurate. And he decides to keep it here.
Wow.
And he's got a hole. That's going to be a foot race. Oh, but he runs into a Hempfield player and loses the ball, but it looks like... Did he lose the ball?
Hempfield's sideline seems to be celebrating.
Yeah. Hempfield has gotten the fumble recovery from Nick Williams, who lost the ball after a big gain after running into his own player who was blocking for him. And there you see a little bit of inexperience from Nick Williams, who hasn't seen much of the playing field. And Hempfield capitalizes with a turnover that they desperately needed. Oh, and
Wow,
a big hole
he's
here
got
for
space.
Draghi, who gains about 20 on that play before he's brought down by half of the Wilson defense.
That was a touchdown saving tackle most likely there.
That was. He had one man to beat, and he got his legs wrapped up. Let's see what Hempfield decides to put together here in the fourth quarter. It's Harbaugh again, a quarterback with Draghi this time to his right. He's got two receivers left, two receivers right. It is 1st and 10 from the 39. Low snap, hands to Draghi up the middle again, who gets another good push for maybe a 5-yard gain. Seems that Wilson doesn't quite have their starting defense in there, and Hempfield is trying to take advantage of that, and they've gone back to running the ball up the middle, which they've done all season fairly successfully, and they're having success with it right now, as that gains 6 yards and brings up 2nd and 4 here for the Black Knights.
Draghi's bringing some life to this rushing game.
Draghi, who we saw a lot of last week, had a great game, has been somewhat quiet this week due to Tanner Hess taking a lot of the snaps at running back. And this time Harbaugh keeps it and gains a 1st down and more. Makes a move there to break a tackle and get the 1st down with a gain of about 8.
That play must have caught everyone off guard because there's not much film on him.
That's right.
And we've seen him passing downfield all night. You're not going to expect that from him. But still, he's showing off his athleticism too.
Oh, Draghi with a lowering the shoulder. That was almost like a video game truck we see these days from Draghi.
Use the hit stick on that one.
That's a gain of about 4, but that gives Hempfield something to cheer about.
That was an angry run.
That was an angry run. Draghi, a shorter guy, but compact. 5'7", but 170 pounds of muscle to him. Able to blast through a Wilson defender there. And this time they give it to Eli Hinton, who we haven't called yet tonight, the sophomore, who gains about another 5 there to bring up 3rd and short here, 3rd and 1 officially.
With this game seeming to be out of reach, it looks like both teams are just trying to get inexperienced players out there, get some varsity playing time.
That's right. You start looking to the future when you're ahead or down by this much. And Harbaugh in the gun now. Gets the snap. Fumble there. And looks like, oh no. It looks like it was recovered by Wilson. They're signaling it's their ball. And sure enough, it is. Wilson gets the ball back.
Just like that, after Hempfield was showing signs of life on offense, it all just comes back down.
Hempfield finally had something going, and then they fumbled after recovering a fumble of their own. Zach, did you catch who was carrying the ball there and fumbled?
I did not. It's hard to see from back here.
It was. We had a whole screen of players from both teams covering up the ball carrier. I didn't even see a hand come in to rip the ball out. I just saw the ball dribbling back on the ground. And now Wilson takes over. Williams in again after the big run that was canceled because of the fumble. Comes over to the sideline to get the call from the coach. And there's 6.5 minutes left to go here in this 2019 homecoming game for Hempfield. Hempfield trying everything they can to get some yards together and put points up on the board. And that's a good hard run by Gavin Lennart, brother of Mason Lennart, who's done so well tonight. Mason Lennart is a junior, whereas Gavin, who just got that ball, is a sophomore. So Mason Lennart, who's looked so strong all night, still has another year at Wilson. And then his brother, who shows promise on that play, has 2 more years after this season at Wilson. Looks like they're going to be good in the run game for a while to come yet. Williams in the backfield again. And hands it to Lennart again, who gets nothing that time. Swallowed up by number 88, Connor Elslager there, the senior. First time we've called his name tonight.
Got 4th down coming up. I don't think Wilson has any reason not to go for it. If they pick this up, they can just keep grinding away at the clock. And with how dominant their front O-line has been, they have no reason not to.
We expected Elslager to be out tonight, but he was cleared to play just before yesterday's practice, and he gets his first tackle there. Williams gets the snap and hands again to Lennart, who gets lit up.
He's short.
Who hit him there? Good hit by the Hempfield defender. Couldn't exactly see the number. The jersey was all tangled up. I think it was number 44 on the hit there to stop Wilson and bring up.
Solid 4th down stop there by Hempfield's defense.
Yeah.
Curious to
offense
see.
now takes the field.
Curious to see who they roll out with this time on offense.
4:42 left on the clock in this game. Hempfield starting with some of the best field position they've had all night on their own 49-yard line. And the handoff goes to Evan Smith.
Is that
Who
another
has
fumble?
fumbled again, and
Oh,
it's coming
no.
back the other way. And Wilson again gets the ball back, and it's number 51. That is Savion Carino, the senior, with the fumble recovery and return. The big man rumbling down the field a little bit. And his team loving it, giving him hugs on the sideline here. Nothing like one of your linemen getting the fumble and start running the other way and creating offense that they don't usually get to see.
I'll tell you what, though. Hempfield's younger players are definitely showing their inexperience with the ball security issues.
That's right. That's probably exactly why Zebra has him in here tonight, is so that they learn what they can and can't do when they're on the varsity field.
Just keeping it.
Nick Williams keeps up the middle for a small gain there to bring up 2nd and medium. I think Hempfield at this point is looking to maybe shut the Bulldogs out in this 4th quarter here. They have yet to score. But threatening here as the Bulldogs are in the red zone.
Looking to make it a 40-plus score here.
Uh-oh. And those dreams are crushed as it's Williams on the keeper for his 2nd touchdown of the year.
Realistically, Hempfield has one more chance for chance to score.
That's right. It's 41-0. If Wagner stays consistent tonight, it will be 42. And Hempfield has 3:38 left on the clock to try to put some sort of points on the board and get rid of that ugly circle on the left side on the scoreboard here. Wagner's kick is up and right down the middle yet again.
This perfect night continues.
Man, he is super consistent. He has 6 point afters tonight, and as we mentioned earlier, he came into the game 28 for 30, now 34 for 36.
Very impressive. He's shown his leg on the kickoff as well.
That's right, and the funny thing is, he is not a little guy. He is one of the bigger kickers you'll see out there, but doing a great job at 5'9", 210 pounds. He is also a linebacker on this Wilson defense. So obviously as a linebacker, you got to be quick. And he's got a good leg too.
Got plenty of power to him. All right, here we go.
And here's Wagner's kick. It is a line drive yet again towards Almodovar, who fields it cleanly and is looking to return it. And he's got a hole now. He's still on his feet. Almodovar
There it is.
at the 50, 40, 30. Can he stay on his feet? 10, 5, touchdown. Almodovar puts Hempfield on the board tonight and gives them momentum into next week.
It's just what they needed.
That is exactly what Hempfield was looking for all night, and finally, Hempfield crowd has something to cheer about.
The unsung heroes of the night, special teams.
That's absolutely right, and here is Nick O'Neill out to take
His first kick of the night.
his first place kick of the night. It's been consistent as of late start of the season. Inexperienced and inconsistent, but now he's starting to figure it out. Let's see what the lefty can do here to put up one more point for the Knights.
2 back-to-back kick return touchdowns for Hempfield past 2 weeks in the fourth quarter.
And the kick is up and right down the middle for Nick O'Neill, giving Hempfield 7 points so far tonight, and 3:22 left to go. Wilson has the backups, and do you think Hempfield can force a turnover here and maybe get something else?
No.
Is that too much to ask for?
No, I think this is purely just for the momentum moving forward.
Yeah, you'd like to see.
Both teams kind of were accepting that entering the quarter, and I mean, hey,
Oh,
they
yeah,
got points.
I was just talking, do you think Hempfield gets any more points on the board?
Oh, well,
Obviously,
We'll
the game
see
is out of
here.
reach with 35 points in 3:22. I'm not sure
that's a
ever
lot
happened
more
before.
realistic than them coming back.
Interesting to see if Hempfield's defense has life or if they've decided to settle for a touchdown, which is not exactly a method Coach Zieber would want to see out of his team. We'll see what happens here as Nick O'Neill is set to kick off only for the second time tonight after the opener. As we've been saying, it's been getting colder. You think Nick O'Neill is a little chilly over there on the sideline? He's been waiting all night to get in.
I think almost everyone down on that field is chilly at this point, Colson. But I mean, hey, it's good to see him 1 for 1 on the night.
That's right. And Wilson looking to return it here and answer and met. Good tackle there from Hempfield's Evan Smith, the sophomore.
Brought down by Adam Acker.
That touchdown that Hempfield just scored was David Almodovar's second of the year, and a good one it was, with an 88-yard kick return.
Fun fact, both kick returners scored in the past 2 games in the fourth quarter.
And we see Hempfield shine in the special teams tonight. That's definitely been their strong point here. As Williams is back in for Wilson. Takes the ball. Oh, bobbles the snap. And well overthrown and out of bounds.
No one was getting that one.
Most of the pass calls incomplete. 2nd and 10.
That's just one that got away from him.
Yeah. You think maybe he's starting to lose a little bit of focus here at the end of this game?
I think they're all at a point tonight where they just want to wrap things up.
Yeah.
Have a long trip home tonight.
Well, for Wilson, obviously they're looking to make a pretty deep run into the playoffs where they're going to meet some teams that will challenge them. It's good to see them maybe learn a little bit of discipline here, even when they're up big, to finish the game. And here they try with a big run there up the left side. And that was Gavin Lennart again, brother of star running back Mason Lennart.
We've seen pure dominance all night from the offense, and then on defense, they put up a shutout, considering the 7 points were taken from special teams.
Oh, that's got to be a false start there.
And yes, it is, I think.
Easy call for the refs. Yep, false start. That'll back them up and create a 1st and 15 here for the Bulldogs with 2 minutes and 4 seconds left to go. And Williams takes a snap.
Nobody
Throws a
over there.
quick screen pass. Oh, and breaking tackles.
Oh, wow.
Breaking tackles is number 24, Eamon Kenny for Wilson. The senior there showing his elusiveness.
With the tackle. First day, Wilson, 1st down. 1st and 10.
I'll tell you what, even though the backups may be in, that doesn't mean that they're going to turn down their intensity. They want to make a statement, too.
That's right. They want to finish this game, and they want to be the last to score here, I think.
I think they're trying to drop 50 this game.
Another screen pass. Again to Kenny, and this time he's brought down quickly by, again, the sophomore, Evan Smith. And now we're under a minute to go. Clock running, 56 seconds now. And Wilson just looking to eat up the clock here. Do you think they take one more shot downfield?
Absolutely.
Test the backup quarterback Nick Williams' arm here.
It really seems like
now wait a
they're
minute.
going for 50 here.
Now, wait a minute. Is that Brown back in there? I can't really see a number, but that's not Williams.
They loaded up the box on this play. No, they're just going to run it.
They keep it on the ground. And that might do it. With 20 seconds left to go, I'm not sure Wilson's looking to run another play here.
Yeah, I think this one's over, Colson.
Wilson walking over to the sideline. Coach is coming onto the field to shake hands. Hempfield now heads back to the sideline.
Pure dominance by
3,
Wilson.
2, 1, and the final whistle has blown here at the Georgia Lewis Law Firm Stadium. With the final score, Wilson Bulldogs 42, Hempfield Black Knights 7. From all of us here at HSD TV 7, our producer Riley Klepper, audio specialist Jace Gibbons, analysis Zach Roda, I'm Colson Hunt saying good night and thanks for watching.